Good afternoon. One thing about the internet is we can inadvertently create an appetite just for drama. The word drama popped in my head, but it's not just drama. For how stupid some of these folks tend to be, through their behaviors and their misdeeds and all of that, as it pertains to the church, right? We can create an appetite, inadvertently, right? Create an appetite for just stupidity. And there has to be a balance. We can't only have a bunch of YouTube pages that's always showing what the devil is doing, right? Where are the testimonies of what God is doing? See, it's a lack of balance. And I just noticed that. And the Spirit of the Lord will kind of give me the unction to notice and see some things sometimes. And sometimes it's just I have to speak about things from kind of a different angle or a different perspective than what's the, and I don't try to do that. That's just how it always happens with me, but come at things from a different perspective or angle than the typical stuff and the narratives that's always out there. But yeah, there's something wrong with that, and people do this under the guise of exposure ministry and under the, feeling like, well, I'm helping the church. Well, you're not helping. If 100 people didn't talk about something, how are you really helping the church? What people are actually doing, and I'm going to deal with this in the message in 2026, but what people are doing is it's almost like you're on the side of the enemy because you're just showing how effective he has been when it comes to making a mockery of the things of God. Understand, people like Jamal Bryan and these guys, man, that's not God's church. So we can't overtly highlight what the enemy is doing through them in an unbalanced way. Yes, we have to rebuke. Okay, don't be crazy. I do that. Yes, we call out things. That's automatic. That the word tells us to do those things. Mark and avoid them. Correct those within the church from not from without the church and whatnot. All those things are significant. The Bible speaks about them. We do all those things. Amen. But we have to have balance. Where are the testimonies of the young men that may have, came out of the world or came out of this or that delusion in rebellion against God? This young lady, she's new to the faith, and she's came out of New Ageism or something like that, and it's not enough of what God is doing and the victories that the true church does have, but we can overtly emphasize on what the devil is doing, and that is unbalanced, people of God.